I'm sorry I couldn't set up a horoscope because of my illness. Aries, during the week of March 14th to March 20th, you will be alarmed by the extreme and reckless actions of someone around you, who will most likely find themselves in a complex, difficult to resolve situation. This person does not have to be your relative, but you will have a close relationship anyway. During the week it will be difficult for you to communicate with representatives of the water zodiac signs. The good thing is that you will find help and support in the face of someone who knows these people well. Your pessimistic mood will pass quickly and, as they say, after the storm in the sun comes the turn. Do not allow depression, because there are no real reasons for this, except your own emotions. During the week there will be tension around a trip, and most likely with people you will travel with or because of whom you will travel. Avoid arguing with traffic police or other government officials. This week will be remembered with several important meetings and conversations that bring important changes in your life. Be patient, their development is ahead. Boys and girls will be fascinated or excited by a new idea, proposal, or invitation. Take your time, give yourself time to think soberly and wisely. The more maturity you learn to show in your actions, the faster you can move forward. During the week, do not belittle the words of a close woman who is trying to give you good advice. She may not be doing it in the best way, but you probably know her character well. The week can be remembered with a pleasant purchase for you. Men will need help working with documents, contracts, or other important paperwork. Seek advice or guidance if you feel insecure. This week brings many unexpected events and experiences for you, but they will almost imperceptibly affect your basic plans and commitments. This will be an auspicious week for travel, and it is possible that an unexpected reason may arise. Women will go through a week in which more clarity will be found on issues important to your family or career. You will have to talk to a man, look for information, ask questions. Where you feel insecure, insincere, afraid, so you really need to pay more attention and check everything or everyone. Taurus, during the week of March 14th to March 20th, you will experience disappointment from someone you have had a good opinion of or from whom you have seen only good things so far in your life. This week, however, this person will react or act inexplicably to you, which does not mean that this person has no reason for such actions. To find out more, it will be good to sit down and talk, as long as you have the courage to hear some perhaps unpleasant truths. This week will require a more responsible attitude towards your health, although there is no specific reason to panic. It would be good to avoid stressful and conflict situations that will adversely affect you and can cause problems with blood pressure, migraine attacks, insomnia, and more. During the week you will be invited to a meeting or gathering with friends, but for some reason you will not be in a hurry to give your answer. You may have other commitments and worry that you will be burdened with more responsibilities than you are able to fulfill. However, the reason may be completely different and concern your own emotions and feelings. During this week, there will be tensions over equipment or goods in your workplace, which will cause conflicts with colleagues or customers. There is probably a better way to solve the specific problem, and I hope you find it. Boys and girls will have the opportunity to choose between a pleasant time spent with friends or peers and, on the other hand, make maximum use of these 7 days for hard work related to a project, exercise, It would be great if you find a balance between the two options, because you will need both. During this week you can settle some important cases related to a document, contract, or agreement. Remember, these 7 days can be a very successful and constructive time for you. Men will need to take more seriously the commitment or work with a woman, no matter what your relationship with her is. Various events will provoke new ideas in you, but think carefully about every single, albeit minimal, change in your life. News or failure that will affect you in some way can make you sad or frustrating. Women will act slowly this week. The reasons will be different, but you will definitely not rush anywhere. And so it should be. Now you need more peace and security. Your expectations that trouble may arise in your life will probably be deceptive, or you will provoke it yourself with such thinking on your part. Gemini, during the week of March 14th to March 20th, avoid engaging in financial relationships with friends, no matter what the situation. A small mistake, omission, or misunderstanding can provoke an unpleasant situation that will negatively affect your relationship. Do not be impressed by offers for higher profits, because you will be disappointed. You may even experience a loss. Reckless words or actions of a loved one will disappoint you and may even make you feel offended. It will be very important for you this week to avoid clarifying your relationships with people with whom you have old problems or disputes. Most likely your or their words, emotional reactions will only worsen the situation between you. Loss or failure that your relative or friend will experience will make him angry and looking for the culprit around him. In fact, it will be entirely his/her fault. During this week, many will plan a trip that will be accomplished by overcoming some complex situations or difficulties, but in general there will be a successful realization, regardless of its purpose. Boys and girls will have to focus mainly on their duties, whether they are pupils, students, or working. There are some important moments ahead of you, such as acquiring new knowledge, searching for and finding new solutions to old problems or complex situations. There are important conversations in your family related to family income and upcoming urgent expenses. Men will have to go through these 7 days with more attention and patience in their daily affairs. Some events will be slow, some tasks will be difficult to complete, and this can be called to some extent a week of stagnation for you. The problems where they arise will be due to incorrect assessment of the specific situation, misleading by false information or incorrect source, etc. The good thing is that you have the skills to get out of any situation, but it will not be bad not to repeat some life lessons over and over again. Women will love to meet relatives, friends, or acquaintances with whom they will have something to talk about. This will charge you the most, your communication with different and pleasant people for you. You will go through a whole or a stressful situation, but you will quickly find a way out of it. You have already experienced a similar situation in your past and you have learned your lesson. Cancer, during the week of March 14th to March 20th, you will expect important news or developments that will largely determine your future. Many of you will have concerns about the development of a property engagement due to its delay or postponement of various actions. If you are engaged in a job or business, do not look for profit at any cost this week, but rather have some income to help you stay stable. This week will come with her surprises and unexpected events, some of which will be related to the need to meet certain people. The development of your financial affairs will be unpredictable, but it is unlikely that an unpleasant situation or drama will arise. During these 7 days, focus on the things that are important to your home and family. Seek support from your family and close relatives. This will be an auspicious week for conversations about past, present or future family events. This way you will be able to make an important decision that will still have a positive impact on your household chores. You will be required to be more active in your actions this week, as many will depend on you. Boys and girls will be good at planning their tasks between those at school/university/work and those that are important to the family. Many different events are coming up in your home and in your circle of relatives, and your participation will be important in them. During the week, of course, you will always find time for friends, but do not let them take time that is valuable to you. Men will need to pay attention to their health and fitness. Give yourself enough time to rest and do not burden yourself with tasks for which you do not have the resources this week. The health of a close man or friend may also require some care or concern. Bad news in this regard can seriously upset you. Women will have occasions for important communication with other women in the family, friends, or those with whom they have common interests and goals. Meetings or joint actions with women who live relatively close to you are likely. This week you will have a clearer idea, or you will make a more serious organization of your plans, which will be realized in the spring or summer. Probably an emotional experience with a person born under the sign of Cancer, Pisces, or Scorpio. Leo, during the week of March 14th to March 20th, you may experience unpleasant emotions related to a child or young person, which may be caused by their unreasonable or risky actions. Depending on your age and level of spiritual development, try to talk patiently and carefully with people younger than you. If necessary, give them examples from your experiences, but without imposing your opinion or will. This is a week in which you have to be a teacher, but only if you have the natural qualities to do so. Otherwise, try not to confuse other people's lives. This week you will experience disappointment from your relative, who will surprise you with his decision or reckless action. During the week, be careful with your financial expenses and financial affairs. You are definitely in a good position. You will have the opportunity for a stable income, or new opportunities will arise in this plan. However, do not allow yourself to act unreasonably and do not spend money on things that are not essential. This week you will receive news related to serious life difficulties in the life of a woman you know. Boys and girls will have to tune in for a week that is unlikely to be filled with any noticeable results. You will need to focus on some of the commitments you made last week that are still relevant and awaiting completion. There may be several important moments during the week in which you will need to show a strong position on issues related to your family, education, or career. To those of you who will have to make important decisions, let them have plenty of time to think. You will experience pleasant moments with people born under the sign of Libra, Gemini, or Aquarius. Men will get into some kind of dispute or conflict with a man under the age of 35, who will show incredible perseverance and stubbornness on the topic on which you have differences. Most likely, this will be a person from your circle of friends, with whom you initially have different opinions on issues important to the society in which you live. This week can be remembered with at least one new acquaintance with a man with whom you will have common interests in a public or political cause. The week will favor the implementation of tasks related to home improvements, repair of household appliances, or purchase of new ones. Women will try with some cunning or manipulative actions to realize their idea or plan. In some respects, this will work quite well and successfully, but it is possible that such actions may turn against you. Your home worries and responsibilities this week will be more, which can affect your work or business in a negative way. Virgo, during the week from March 14th to March 20th, you will follow with interest the events in the life of a person from your circle of relatives or friends. Despite the global health crisis affecting millions of people, love continues to exist, and it will be the most likely cause of important events in the lives of your loved ones and friends. The week brings important events in the life of your romantic or marital partner. Your relationship with men will be influenced by everyday events, but a conflict with a man can hurt you emotionally, and you will not forget this insult for a long time. This week you will have the opportunity to clear up most of your worries, no matter what they are related to. The week brings new opportunities in personal or professional terms, which you will be able to realize. You will be able to stabilize your health in case you have a such problem. You may be worried or making plans with people who live far away from you and who are probably your friends or like-minded people. Boys and girls will decide that this week is a time to have fun, and that there will always be enough time for serious tasks. This is somewhat true if you make a good organization of your time or do not stumble into an unrequited and impossible love. It is good not to ignore the advice or suggestions you will receive from a person born under the sign of Libra, Aquarius, or Gemini. They can be related to your love life as well as your education or life goals, if you have any. It will be very important this week to keep your personal plans, secrets, and ideas, because not every smile hides a valuable and sincere person. Men will have to trust some new people in their lives, which does not mean that you should not be careful. On the contrary, new people come with a mission in your life, but it can be both good and a challenge. For some of you, financial relationships with a person born under the sign of Taurus, Virgo, or Capricorn will come to the fore. The week will be remembered with a pleasant experience with a woman over 35 years of age. First of all, women will have to take care of their health this week, whether it is maintaining good physical shape, dentistry, or other therapies. Some of your commitments will be realized with great anxiety or fear, as these will be things you will commit to for the first time. The health of a child or girl can be a concern, but there is a promise of a speedy recovery. Libra, during the week of March 14th to March 20th, almost your whole family will be involved in various financial matters, payments, documents, planning future expenses and more. Things will go relatively smoothly, without worry or undue stress. This can happen to those of you who are involved in a mortgage or rent payment, but these things will also find their natural development. This week you will enjoy a news, decision, or event related to a child or young person who lives some distance from you or in another home. The week brings news related to the birth of a child, which will also be an occasion for special joy. During this week, avoid trouble with women who will find it difficult to accept your opinion and will tend to oppose you to the end. The week will be remembered with unexpected occasions for joy in the family or in your circle of relatives. Regardless of the situation in the country where you live, it is possible to discuss events related to an engagement, wedding, anniversary, or other important family event. Boys and girls will talk, consider, or make decisions about some future commitments, which they will expect not only to gain some experience, but also possibly to receive some payment. This will be an auspicious week for settling contracts or scholarship documents. Interesting experiences and emotions with a loved one or friends are expected in your personal life. It is possible to enjoy unexpected money or find it. The events of the week are not only meant to bring you pleasure and fulfill your desires, but also to provoke you to think about the value of the life you are currently leading and which you want to have. Men can go through a calmer time in which to give themselves enough time to rest, think, and plan future actions. Conversations with people born under the sign of Gemini, Aquarius, or Libra will have a good effect on you. Your personal health problem or that of a loved one may cause concern, but there will also be a speedy recovery. Love will create many emotional situations in your life, regardless of your marital status. Women will be emotionally unstable, most likely due to a greater workload than different people or events that will take place this week. You may be disappointed by not being able to achieve a goal or by the attitude of some towards you. Attempts to defraud or make a promise that the person concerned will not keep are not ruled out. The good thing is that the development of events during the week will be fast, so the unpleasant situations will pass quickly. Scorpio, during the week from March 14th to March 20th you will engage in some unpleasant household or property problems. Their occurrence and the inability to resolve them at this stage may lead you to make some important decisions. This week is not conducive to buying a property, but if you need one, be very careful in every detail. In general, the week will be conducive to the development of your main commitments and their successful completion. This also applies to those related to money or financial documents. People born under the Earth's zodiac signs or with such an ascendant will have a favorable influence on your deeds this week. During these 7 days, be careful in professional or business contacts related to travel or people from different distances. Unpleasant mistakes and even attempts at fraud or misconduct may occur. If you have decided to travel this week, be prepared to face unexpected obstacles or experience unexpected events. This week you will think about some of your unrealized ideas and plans from the recent past, as you will intuitively feel that they still have a future, or maybe the current situation will favor their successful development. Boys and girls will go through some unpleasant emotional situations, and some of you may cry and others may hide an insult or a desire for revenge. I do not advise you to retaliate with a blow, because the pain or loss will ultimately remain in you. Learn to overcome such situations and conditions with wisdom and maturity regardless of your age. This way you will get rid of energies and inhibitions much faster, things that stop your progress. Definitely this week you will have the opportunity to show who you are and what you can do, even if you are still a minor. Men will face difficulties that will arise due to some negative traits of your own character. Relentlessness or the desire to make things happen your way this week will only hurt you. Attention will be required for financial relationships or any kind of agreement with people born under the sign of Capricorn, Taurus, or Virgo. The week brings some new responsibilities related to your home or family that will have to be accepted and fulfilled with all the seriousness they require. Women will go through a week that will leave behind a sad memory of a loss or separation from a man who had a place in your life. Of course, it doesn't have to be your relative, but it will definitely be a person you respect or have special memories with. Those of you who will be involved in a lawsuit or legal case this week, be careful, as there will be some delicate moments bordering on both success and loss. During the week you will commit to a girl or a young woman who will burden you at a time inappropriate for you. Sagittarius, during the week from March 14th to March 20th you will have virtual or real contacts with your romantic partner. Love will be an important part of your life during these 7 days and will charge you with positive energy and optimism. You may have certain expectations for the development of your relationship and try to force their development. I hope you don't overdo the pressure or your expectations. During this week, you may be worried about the health of a loved one over the age of 35. It is possible that a young woman around you may cause you other serious concerns. In general, the week will require more attention to any health ailment or problem, but without panic or fear. This week you will be saddened by an unexpected event in a man's life, which will occur due to his unreasonable or risky actions, arrogance, and others. During this week, it will be important to avoid presumptuous actions that could cause injury or other unpleasant incident. During the week there will be a conflict with a person from your circle of friends due to an unfulfilled promise or a discrepancy in plans, which will create some discomfort for you. Boys and girls will go through several conflict situations this week related to jealousy, desire for supremacy or stubbornness. Be careful with your accusations against others, because you yourself are hardly perfect. At home, try to live in harmony with others, to understand the problems of your parents or other family members. Help when you can, avoid conflicts. They can cause you a lot of unpleasant headaches this week. An occasion for a gathering or a pleasant experience can be a girl from your circle of friends or peers. Men will plan their things day by day, as new or useful information will constantly come to you, and various circumstances will undergo unexpected changes. For some of you, the week will be remembered with an important document, contract, agreement, or invitation related to a person born under the sign of Aries, Leo or Sagittarius. You will communicate much more with friends or like-minded people due to the dynamic development of various important events in society or in the world. Women will be at the heart of the more important events in the family this week. This is the time to realize your ideas and plans. Of course, if you manage to convince others in their perspective in time. During the week, there may be an engagement or experience related to a man born under the sign of Pisces, Cancer, or Scorpio, or with such a rising sign. During these 7 days, someone will try to deceive or lie to you, but you will be alert, right? Capricorn, during the week of March 14th to March 20th, certain events will bring more optimism to your family affairs and plans. The emergence of new chances and opportunities will give you hope and faith that the difficult times are gradually beginning to pass. The events in families where the other partner was born under the water zodiac sign will have a particularly favorable development. During this week, show greater concern for the health or personal affairs of your child or someone in your family. They may make serious mistakes or succumb to someone's ill-intentioned manipulation, which may cost them some loss or other complications. During the week you will enjoy good news related to money, or you will have opportunities for new sources of income. This beneficial effect on your finances will affect your whole family, and it may be due not only to your efforts or work. During the week you will be surprised by a conversation or event related to a relative or friend and some new start in their lives. It is possible that this person was born under the sign of Gemini, Libra, or Aquarius, or have such an ascendant. Boys and girls will live with some expectations for this week, but you will hardly make any special efforts to make them feasible. Somehow you will be willing to rely on other people to do the main work, and you will only get involved at the end when the fun part begins. This week will be conducive to traveling with family or friends, but in the latter case, avoid risky or shown actions while driving. The week will be remembered for interesting communication with your friends or peers who are at some distance from you at this time. You will definitely have more news to share, or they will share it with you. Men will have to show more responsibility and concern for what is happening in the life of a close woman, mother, wife, sister, daughter, or others. While you will not be in the mood to engage with other people's problems, it will be important this week to show empathy or help as much as you can. The week brings an experience with a woman born under the sign of Taurus, Capricorn, or Virgo, which may be related to her health or a serious problem in her personal life. Women will decide that they are in the mood for change and improvement in their home, villa, or farm owned by the family. Those of you who have a garden will invest a lot of energy, ideas in its development. Your love life will never go into the background, on the contrary. Regardless of your marital status, you will want and seek attention, compliments, or pleasant experiences. Aquarius, during the week of March 14th to March 20th, you will experience disappointment with people who will not keep their promise or will deliberately deceive you with false information. This week, such actions will make you more determined in removing such people from your environment. You will realize the fact that it is better to have few but true friends than many but insecure or frivolous ones. During the week you will learn bad news about a person you have known for many years, but may not be close friends or relatives. During these 7 days, do not allow your children to travel, for whatever reason. Such a trip can put your family in an unexpected and complicated situation. If you have health problems, avoid panic or unnecessary fear of consulting a doctor this week. You may have been intimidated by recent events, but your reality is different. Those of you who will be professionally engaged during these 7 days will be able to count on a good development of your professional commitments and even feel proud of a job or tasks well done. Boys and girls will have different occasions to get together with friends or classmates, but let them be happy not to take precedence over your other responsibilities at school or in the activity/work you are currently engaged in. You can have an occasion for a holiday in your family or in the circle of relatives. Some experiences during the week can make you think about the difficulties you have to go through before you reach a happy moment in your life, which, however, sometimes lasts only a moment before the new tasks take their place in your life. Men will have to not only make a promise, but also move to real action in things related to the comfort of home. A more responsible time for clearing household problems and settling other important family matters. The health of a loved one can be a concern, and it is very likely that it is a person from your home. Some trouble this week will show you that you're too hasty to get involved with things or people you don't have enough information about. Women will also be involved in domestic problems, improvements, or renovations in the home, which in most cases will be planned and organized in advance. You may have expectations for work or some other commitment related to a property you own outside of the one you currently live in. The week will favor the purchase of a holiday or rural property for those who are in a similar procedure. Pisces, during the week of March 14th to March 20th, you will have important or useful conversations with a loved one about various situations in your or his life related to money, credit, insurance, etc. you may need to visit a financial institution such as a bank, insurance company, or others. During these 7 days, learn to carefully select the information that will reach you. There will be many attempts in the public space to manipulate various false news or allegations, which can lead to confusion of your perceptions of reality at the moment. Avoid making decisions if you do not have an inner conviction that this is right for you. Seek advice when needed from people you trust completely. During the week, some of you will need to be absent from work or adapt to changes in your professional duties and responsibilities. During these 7 days, you will be worried about the health of your friend, colleague, or neighbor, and there is no sign of any fatal aggravation of the problem. Boys and girls will be burdened mentally and emotionally with troubles that you have caused yourself with your unreasonable or tactless behavior at home, at school, or at work. You will face consequences that will be quite unpleasant for you. Take good care of your fitness this week and don't underestimate the importance of a cold or injury. In general, the week will be harmonious and favorable for you in terms of fulfilling the obligations you have. Men will engage in an unpleasant task, which, however, will be important for a close woman. This may be related to solving another family member's problem. In general, the week will develop according to your expectations and plans that you have for this period of time. Meetings related to a loved one and an important occasion that will arise in his/her life are likely. Women will be restless and anxious, especially when making important decisions that bring complex or difficult changes with them. During these 7 days you can communicate with your relatives, from whom you will seek advice on the specific situation. The week will be remembered with an emotional event related to a person born under the sign of Aries, Sagittarius, or Leo. Your financial affairs will develop normally and some favorable situations or changes in this plan are possible.